Hi, Jonas from Whole Body Chiro here. If you've been struggling with issues in your mid-back for some time, you know how frustrating it can be. Even in simple day-to-day activities, it has the tendency to lock up. So say that you're doing dishes or mopping the floor, before long you start to get that building, cramping, tension building up in your back. So what tends to be happening there is that if you look at your mid-back, your thoracic spine here, obviously the spine here, then the ribs coming out and the shoulder blade sort of floating on top of that. And then it's muscles running between the shoulder blade and the spine. So when you do activities like dishes, the shoulder blade need to be stabilized against the spine. So you have your rhomboids, muscles running in between, they start to cramp up and tighten. And if they end a little niggle in here, you start to put pressure on that inflamed, irritated spot, which makes it hurt. And then the muscles try to splint together, so to tighten up even more. And it hurts more, so tighten up more. And eventually those muscles get so tight, they start to get lactic acid build up in the muscle, and you start to get that burning pain. And eventually if you get tight enough, it can even affect your breathing. It just all completely locks up. So I think one of the common things that trigger issues in the mid-back is repetitive use of one hand. So say that you're using a computer for work and reaching out to use that mouse, and as the arm shifts forward, the shoulder blade slides out on the rib cage, and the rhomboids around in between has a tendency to pull the segment over like that. And then you start to get repetitive overloading and irritation of the facet joints at the back here on that side. So in a scenario like that, chiropractic care can be really effective to shift that segment back into better alignment, and at the same time stretch those small position sensing muscles so they start to wake up and fire at a higher rate. You get the more accurate, clear picture of the alignment of the segment. It becomes easier to maintain it in a good position. With issues in the mid-back, it's very common to get issues with shoulders as well, because those muscles running between the shoulder blade and the spine, when they're tight, they start to interfere with the freedom of movement of your shoulder. So if you do something like painting the ceiling and you need that full range of movement in your shoulder, if the shoulder blade is locked down due to muscle guarding, you can't move the shoulder blade out of the way, and you end up pinching the upper arm bone, the humerus, against the shoulder blade, and you get impingement issues there like bursitis, or eventually can lead to rotator cuff injuries and rotator cuff tears from that ongoing grinding of the upper arm bone against the shoulder blade. So very important to address. Other adjustments, there are some exercises we can do to help the spine out. So once we get the spine moving, I quite like to prescribe the Jefferson's curl to keep these facet joints mobilized and healthy in between appointments. So it looks like this. And I quite like to do that with a weight, just to get a bit of a stronger stretch of those segments. So if we go forward here, targeting between the shoulder blades there, so I can linger there a bit, and then work my way down, keeping all those segments nice and mobile. I can do the same thing sideways. It's like great exercise to, once you get the spine moving, to keep it mobile. If you have a tendency to be a bit hunched forward with your head forward, that creates a lot of tension in the mid-back to stop you from falling down. So you want to do exercises to open up your posture, and even with your shoulders, if they're rolled forward, stretch the back like a pec stretch. This, for example, stretching the pec here. The advantage with having a rubber band is you can twist and address different parts of the rotator cuff, and like even along here the bicep here. So since shoulder issues are very common to happen together with mid-back issues, that can be a helpful tool. And then obviously want to address that tension build up. So if you're sitting for long periods of time, take postural breaks to stretch, just get up and move to keep the area loose and stop it from locking up. So yeah, over the years I've learned lots of tips and tricks to help your mid-back to function better. So if you're concerned about your current state of health in your mid-back, don't hesitate, book in, we'll do a thorough assessment and help you to get back on top of it. I like seeing people with mid-back issues. It's really effective to address with chiropractic care, so I hope to see you in here and looking forward to help you.